like I was. Although I'm betting I am a much nicer boss than you ever would have been. Except for maybe this part.
I'm up early for the dealers come out. Everybody is outside till the killers come out. You ain't eating, you just act full. I'm impactful. Dozen funerals in a month. I got that quote. I will give it to niggas in all rap forms. Ignation's out right now on all platforms.
What's up, everybody? It's Lamont Tyson. And I got my boy James in here with me. We just saw the movie Send Help, a Sam Raimi movie. I think this is his 17th movie.
Oh, yeah.
He's famous for the Spider-Man trilogy. And one of my favorite movies, James, that I make a litmus test for anybody I date, Drag Me to Hell.
Yep.
Sam Raimi. This movie stars Rachel McAdams, who is absolutely, to me, the star of the show.
She carried the movie.
And Dylan O'Brien did a great job, too. Having said that, folks, the premise or the overall narrative of this movie, you have Rachel McAdams, whose name on the show is Linda. She is a savant at her work, her office work, and most people who are savanti tend to seem like they're on the spectrum. They're awkwardly weird in social settings.
Yeah, I mean, she was the golden goose. She did the work. She got results, but nobody wanted to be around her.
Right. She didn't have a good friend circle. Instead of just being the cat lady, she was the bird lady.
Yeah.
She had a pet bird. Right.
Yeah.
That was her soul.
That seemed to be the only thing she could relate to. Everybody else tried to avoid her. And
Now, this is definitely a movie with a message. This is DEI for MAGA white guys. And what do I mean when I say DEI? Did not earn it. And MAGA white guys are going to be so mad at this movie if they go see it, because this is kind of a girl power movie. And by the end of the movie, by the way, in case you guys didn't know, this is a spoiler. By the end of the movie, you literally don't know who to root for.
that's true. That is entirely true.
James is at such a loss for words. We're going to just take it from the top. We're just going to go through piece by piece, and then we'll get you guys out of here.
I just keep thinking, what did I just watch? And here's the thing. I had maybe heard of this movie at most until this morning when I looked up the preview for it.
Yeah.
So everything I knew came from the preview. I went into this having almost no knowledge, not caring one way or the other. I like Sam Raimi movies, though, in general. So I wasn't worried I'd be leaving just that was the worst movie ever or anything like that. But I had no idea what I was walking into. I wasn't sure if this was a horror movie or a romantic comedy. Because usually, man, woman, stuck on a deserted island, you're going to get a romantic comedy. 9 times out of 10. Except Sam Raimi's, he doesn't do that. So I went into this having no idea what I was about to watch. And I left having no idea what I just watched.
So I told James, just by looking at the previews and reading some of the early reviews, to me this sounded like a cross between Misery and Survivor Island. Yeah. And did I nail it, James, or didn't I nail it?
That's pretty good. I'm not sure I can come up with a better two movies or shows to put together to describe this. This was a lot of fun, though.
It was a lot of fun. Ladies and gentlemen, this was my 4th movie of the year. First time I got to do it with my man James, and I can tell you this has been the best movie so far.
In the first 15 minutes or so, they go out of their way to make you cringe and a little bit uncomfortable.
Right.
And, you have a clear bad guy, and you want to root for the girl, but she's still so cringe that you can't relate to anything she's doing. You want to root for her only because she's being, pushed down on by people, stronger positions of power. You get the idea.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, I still don't know who you should root for.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me give you what's going on. So in the beginning of the movie, we're in the office.
Yep.
You have Rachel McAdams' character, Linda Liddle, who is supposed to be getting moved up to VP of her department.
Yep.
Problem is, the person who's head of the organization dies, and now his son takes over as the owner, and the son is repulsed by nerdy, I eat tuna sandwiches and leave food on my face, just like these savant folks do. Think of Elon Musk when you think of savants who are very awkward. Instead of giving her that promotion that the dad offered, he gives it to his damn frat boy friend.
Who, I mean, they made it clear she was promised the job. She's the golden goose. She does the work. The company depends on her. This promotion is just an obvious next step for somebody who is, they make it clear she's the reason they're getting some huge account in Bangkok. She's the person who the company depends on, and the position promised to her is now going to a frat brother of the new owner who doesn't like her at all. But again, she is so awkward, and Rachel McAdams pulled that off so well. Like, I was shifting around in my seat as I watched her.
Ladies and gentlemen, you will not be able to take your eyes off of Rachel McAdams. I mean, like, if they could do Oscars for horror, she would definitely get this. And in this film, Dylan O'Brien, who is now the CEO of this company, he is repulsed by her. And he's got this fiance who looks like she's from South Africa, tall, chocolate, and beautiful. And she had a ring on her finger the size of your eyeball, ladies and gentlemen. And Rachel McAdams' character went in there to profess her anger at him, which for a lot of women, the reason we have a pay disparity gap is because a lot of women don't go negotiate for their pay.
And I should say, as with all Sam Raimi movies, nothing about this is subtle.
No.
No. She lays out she walks in angry, she lays out to the boss why she deserved the promotion. He agrees with her. Like every feeling you should get, they spell it out. And even when we saw inside her apartment, they had books literally, like, the titles of these books were exactly what we should be thinking about the movie. Nothing is subtle about this, which is one of the parts I love. You don't have to think.
Sam Raimi does a good job with that. And along this journey, ladies and gentlemen, we learn when she goes home that she is a huge fan of Survivor, so much so that she's got all these Survivor books. She even auditioned to go to Survivor. And we learned that, ladies and gentlemen, while they're on the plane going to, what did you say, Bangkok, Bangladesh?
They were trying to close an account in Bangkok, but for reasons we don't know, the plane crashed. Like, the engine exploded, but we have no idea why. We just see the engine explodes, plane crash. I don't want to spoil how gory it got during the plane crash. It was so much fun.
This is a spoiler.
Oh, it's a spoiler. Okay.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, it was kind of, instant karma, because all the people were watching Linda McAdams' character Survivor tape. So you had all these 4 frat boys that had gotten out of their seatbelts watching this, laughing in her face, picking on her.
Yeah.
And guess who all died? Everybody that wasn't buckled up in the seatbelt, which was all the frat boys, even the airline lady. The only 2 that were in seatbelts was Linda McAdams' character and Dylan O'Brien's character.
The CEO,
The plane, we think, got struck by lightning. It crashes in the ocean. They land on this island. Linda McAdams winds up having to save Dylan O'Brien, who's got cuts on his leg. He's an entitled, rich asshole. He does not know how to survive because she's the Survivor lady. He wakes up, James, and he's treating her like pure tea shit.
Yep. Well, he still thinks she's the employee, I'm the boss, and even though I can't walk, she's going to do everything I command her to do. Make me comfortable, now get us saved. And that's not what she's about at that point. So, I mean, in the corporate world, he was the boss, and she just had to take orders. But now they're in her comfort zone. She's now the alpha dog. This is her comfort zone. This is where she has knowledge. She's now in control. And when she takes control, she kind of treats him the way he treated her when they were in the corporate world. Rightfully. At this point, it feels rightfully. I don't even remember what he said, but he mouths off to her, and she walks away. Keep in mind, he can't get up and walk. And she just walked away and left him there on the beach. I'm not going to get you food. I'm not going to get you water. You're on your own. And that was a satisfying scene.
Very satisfying, because they switched the patriarchy in this, ladies and gentlemen. The power dynamics shift. And there were some funny scenes on this island. This was, ladies, for this to be a comedy, a horror film or a thriller, they snuck in some great comedy. Number one, James, how did you like the boar scene? Now, folks, we have boar scenes from several things. When I think of boar scenes, I always think of somebody getting injured, like Game of Thrones. I don't know if James has seen that yet, but Game of Thrones had a boar that killed the first king in season 1 of Game of Thrones.
Okay.
And In this one, you had a boar that looked like it came from Mars, chasing her, about to attack her. Somehow or another, James, she was able to kill it and bring it back, and they enjoyed the meat.
I'm going to go way back to a movie. If you've ever seen The Princess Bride, when two main characters are in the forest and he's attacked by an oversized rat. They had a cute name for it, ROUS's. But it was a cartoonishly huge rat who would like stick its tongue out and wave it all around as it was trying to attack. This scene reminded me of that so much. This boar was over the top huge and like so animated with its mouth.
Yeah.
It was like throwing up blood all over Rachel McAdams.
Yep.
And that was entertaining as hell.
It was very entertaining. Ladies and gentlemen, this was crazy. Yeah. And then as they get to moving on throughout the island, eventually Dylan O'Brien's character is able to walk. He's rehab, and it seems like things are going good. Now, Rachel McAdams winds up finding a knife, and she winds up seeing somebody on a boat go somewhere.
Yes, she has a secret that she saw that we're led to think on the other side of the island, she saw an area where a boat's going by, and that tells her, okay, people know about this island and are possibly looking for us. We don't know what they were doing in particular, but now she sees rescue is possible.
Right.
And she probably could have gotten them rescued right then and there.
Yep.
And she turns around and walks away from it.
She did, because she, ladies and gentlemen, you'll notice that in her awkward tendencies, she is enjoying the hell out of this. She doesn't want to leave the island. The power dynamic has switched. She's surviving. She's enjoying it. And she pops up with a knife. Now, she tells him not to go on the south side of the island. You'll see this Stonehenge-looking thing that's an X. And she's telling him, don't eat these orange berries. It's dangerous on that side of the island.
It's all thorn bushes, and you'll get injured.
Folks, that was the same side of the island that the boat went to. And now we'll come back to the ending explained in a minute.
Yeah.
But when she gets that knife, of course, he has questions, and she was able to, just kind of land his fears, so to speak.
Yeah.
Just get him over it. And tensions start to get high again, because he's ready to get off this island. He don't want to have no parts of being there with her. He's basically telling her, you need to go blow some smoke signals or whatever. And ladies and gentlemen, would y'all believe this fool tried to poison her with some bad berries and create his own damn raft that looks like my little son's Mickey Mouse toilet seat. James.
Possibly my favorite scene of the whole movie. So he's like seducing her, convinces her, he's like, I'm going to cook you dinner tonight. And she's like, ah, ha, ha. So she starts eating his food, and we could all see it coming. Can I say, again, nothing about this movie is subtle.
Nothing.
We all know what's about to happen. She takes a few bites, and then you see from her point of view, everything gets blurry. She falls over, and you realize he's just poisoned her. And then, like a cartoon, he runs into the forest, and then comes running out, like dragging a boat behind him that he somehow has been building in secret. Again, this is like the CEO of a company. She even complimented how soft his hands were, because we're led to believe he's never done real work in his life. Never. Somehow, behind her back, he built a whole freaking boat and is dragging it behind her, running at top speed, or behind himself, while she's on the beach, like getting sick. So goes in the ocean. Obviously he sucks, so the boat breaks.
Yep.
She rescues him, and then came what may have been the greatest scene, not just in this movie, but possibly of the year. Would you like to explain?
Yes, ladies.
Following couple seconds.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Well, his little raft that was not put together by super glue crashed, threw him over the water. And a sick Rachel McAdams with GI problems had to go save him, give him mouth to mouth while she is vomiting. Yellow gunk.
Actively vomiting while doing CPR, like pushing on his chest and throwing up on his face, then doing mouth to mouth and then throwing up. It was so much fun. I enjoyed the hell out of that.
It was funny.
Knowing what he had been doing to her the whole movie, that was so satisfying. At this point, you're still rooting for her, mind you. Like, she has done 90%, not getting help when she could have. That was probably, that's black mark, but at the same time, she deserved to get revenge. And at this point, it's like, okay, you are. And he still tried to poison you when all you've done is try to rescue, except for the boat, But throwing up all over him, it was so satisfying.
Yep. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. And on top of that, we learned that she probably killed her ex-husband, or let's put it this way. She set the wheels in motion for her ex-husband to die. He was like an alcoholic. She took his keys, and then at some point in time, she let him get drunk and left his keys, and of course he died.
Now, I believe her when she said he did horrible things even for
I believe
him.
it. I believe it.
So she poured him his last drink and then handed him the keys.
Yep.
You know what? Still not rooting against her.
Nope, not yet.
Still not yet. Again, these are some questionable things she's now done, but we're led to believe she's been bullied her whole life, and for just this one time, she's going to get revenge.
Right.
You know, she didn't get rescued because she was still going to show this CEO that he needs to depend on her. Okay. Husband was abusive, so she handed him his own keys. Okay. Still rooting for her.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the ending explained. This is probably when you got to decide who's the protagonist, who's the antagonist. Well, she goes back to that little spot on the south side of the island where she's told Dylan O'Brien's character to not show up. And lo and behold, we hear somebody in a sweet voice say, "Linda! Linda!" And the first thing we see is the gleam of an engagement ring that's diamond is the size of my eyeball. And this is the moment where James is trying to figure out who do I root for. And so she is bringing them across a ledge that is very dangerous, and she knows it.
Yep.
They step on a part of the ledge, so you've got the guy that's driving the boat with the fiance, and the fiance's the guy driving the boat is looking at Linda McAdams' character is like, you don't need those mangoes anymore. We got plenty of food on the boat. And Linda McAdams is looking at them like, no.
Oh, I'm going to need them.
No, yeah, I'm going to need them because I'm not going with y'all asses.
Yeah.
Nobody's leaving this island. And they get on that ledge. Of course, the fiance slips. Then the boat guy tries to save him, only for what to happen to him, James?
We learn later in the movie, because then it fades to black, and when it comes back, she looks upset, but doesn't even mention to the CEO guy that she saw the fiance or a boat captain with her.
Right.
Again, nothing subtle.
Nothing
Obviously,
subtle.
when she had her chance, as the boat guy is trying to save the fiance who's hanging off a cliff, she brains him with a giant rock and lets them both fall into the ocean.
And this is where Dylan O'Brien, the boyfriend, the fiance, goes off. He eventually sees her hand, his fiance's hand in the sand.
Yep.
And it was the weirdest shit possible. The hand was like bent over so that you could see the engagement ring. He gets the ring, and then he confronts Linda McAdams, pulls the engagement ring out of his mouth, and now we're in for a Pier 6 brawl.
This goes on for like 30 minutes. Their fight goes on for almost 30 minutes straight. I was having flashbacks to Evil Dead, you know? For 30 minutes straight, a cartoon.
All right, so we at this billionaire's house. He obviously likes Vikings, and she's cut the power. She's done all kinds of stuff, took over the house, and the fight ensues in the house.
It continues in the house. She's watching him through the security cameras, all that. They finally confront each other. She has a shotgun. He has the spike from a Vikings helmet or something. This was so much fun. And I should also mention, there was never, in a really good movie, when two people are fighting, there's blood. There's just a little bit of blood.
Right.
There was never a little bit of blood in this movie.
Never.
It was spraying.
Yes.
It was so great.
There's a moment I almost forgot, James, that we got to tell him about.
Yeah.
Back on the island, after she had to make him pay for making her sick and vomiting. And so, ladies and gentlemen, she let him eat an octopus that has some kind of neurotoxin that paralyzes your whole body.
Yep.
And she took that little knife.
Now, she told him that it was good that he was paralyzed because not only could he not move around, but he wouldn't feel anything that was about to happen. And it was important that he not feel it for what she was about to do to happen.
And James and audience, what did you think she was about to do to him for his just dastardly deed of making her sick? What was you thinking she was going to do?
I kind of felt like with Sam Raimi, and I keep saying nothing subtle, this was not subtle. She immediately starts unzipping his pants, and then you see her hold up the pants, and then you see her hold up the underwear.
Yep.
And it's like, oh, they're actually doing this. And they ran with this for a good 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah.
She starts carving.
Oh.
Blood starts spurting out.
He
and
couldn't.
It's like, they're actually doing this.
And he couldn't look down because he's fucking paralyzed. She took off his panty drawers and he's just sitting there crying. And as me and James was over, we wanted to cry too.
Now, and I assumed she was actually doing, like, I didn't think that she was going to do it. And then blood starts squirting out. And it's like, they're actually doing this. And he's crying. Now, he's been, he can't feel it. He can't watch it, but he sees the blood. So obviously she's, carving it right off.
Yeah. Come to find out, ladies and gentlemen, she didn't chop his balls off. She had a rat down there that she was killing. And then after she got finished with the rat, she got in his ear and said, don't you let this shit happen again.
Yep. Next time it won't be a rat.
Mm-hmm. And so we'll pick back up in the house. And of course, who wins the battle in the house, James?
She outsmarted him at first.
Mm-hmm.
They fought. He got the shotgun away from her. She's sort of begging. He pulls the trigger, and then he realizes it wasn't a loaded shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
I assume she had tricked him. I think she knew. Wow, the fight continues.
Yep. The fight continues, and a theme that they had throughout this thing is she needs to learn how to adapt the situation. She can't be awkward in every situation. And the new CEO was entitled Love Golf, and the way she killed him, ladies and gentlemen, was with a golf swing. And they didn't show her beating his head with the golf swing.
She swings the golf club and then cut to black.
Yep, they cut to black, and then they cut to a year later where she's playing golf. She's cleaned herself up. She looks like a little mini model.
Yep.
She's got a new hot car.
She's been rescued. We should mention
she's been rescued. And she's got the story of the year, the book of the year, and they're about to make a movie about her. And I think the seminal quote from this whole thing that she one time said earlier that she's saying now, they asked her in an interview, what would you say about this whole situation? She said, nobody is coming to rescue you. You have to save yourself.
Yep.
And then they cut to the end. She's in her car with the bird, and then she breaks the fourth wall and looks us directly in the camera as they end the movie.
What a great movie. And I just sat there laughing, and it's like, what did I just watch? I don't know any other way to describe it. I didn't know anything about this movie going into it, and I am so glad I watched it. I could not stop laughing.
When have I ever let you down?
No.
Other than Power Rangers.
There's been some terrible. Power Rangers.
Yeah, Power Rangers.
That last Doctor Strange movie wasn't too good either, but we all knew that before we saw it.
Who directed that Doctor Strange movie?
Oh, it was, wasn't it?
Sam Raimi.
Okay,
he didn't mean it.
Movie.
He didn't mean it. It's like we really didn't like that Doctor Strange that much. And Rachel McAdams was in that.
Yes, she was.
And Rachel McAdams, ladies and gentlemen, she's one of these actors. You don't hear her name a lot, but you see her in everything.
She knocked this one out of the park.
After this, you better put some respect on that woman's name. So, having said that, we like the soundtrack. They played great music for some of the jump scares and all that. I gotta ask James. I gotta ask you.
You know what? The one other thing I didn't mention, this movie built tension.
Yep.
Unlike any movie I've ever seen before. Like, honestly, did not know what was about to happen, holding my breath at moments, and it never disappointed. I am waffling between 8 out of 10 and a 9 out of 10. I really am.
Wow.
Like, I'm not a changed person. It's not a 10 out of 10. I'm not a changed person.
Yeah.
But I might have to go 9 out of 10. I was entertained by it every step of the way.
I am with James, ladies and gentlemen. I give this movie 9 out of 10 because it did have a message in there about the patriarchy. It did have a message in there that oftentimes when things get tough, you can't wait for someone to save you. You've got to work your way out of it. And you sometimes in life, you will get what you've earned and you'll get what you deserve. And this movie gets a 9 out of 10 from me.
Yeah.
And having said that, James, do you have any parting words other than to tell people to go see this movie?
This was a great movie. You know what? You just won't be disappointed. I am so glad I wouldn't have seen it if you hadn't suggested it.
Yeah.
I am so glad I saw it.
Yeah.
And I can't think of anyone who wouldn't enjoy it. Just be ready to laugh and for lots and lots of blood. Cartoonish amounts.
Yep.
And throwing up.
Don't forget to subscribe to the video. Follow me on Instagram at Get a Life Games. Follow me on YouTube. Subscribe if you haven't already done it. Till that next Sex is Hell video, I'll be back next week with some more political commentary and some more reviews of Night of the Seven Kingdoms. And we're out.